one thing that you spoke about, and I'm going to throw a word on it, and you can reject that word and flip it around and play it with as you want, was that you spoke about what you want, and there was a feeling of the word of yearning in there, and I've heard the word yearning attached to feminine devotion, and I'd love for you to speak to the term yearning within the context of feminine devotion.
Well, I think that women, when they think of yearning, they think of, oh, I wish I had. And that's not yearning to me. Yearning is, there's this feeling deep inside of my core for something that is bigger than myself. And I'm calling to it. It's a magnetism that comes from my heart, that my heart is calling out. I like to think of it when you listen to the music of Madame Butterfly and you listen to this woman, that what touches everyone about that beautiful opera is a particular aria where she is yearning, and in the song and the yearning coming out of her voice touches everyone around her. And I think inside every woman we have that place of yearning. I think we know there's more to life. We know we're being shortchanged. We are calling out to that. And I think that men forget that women feel everything so deeply. Like a woman, it's passionate for a woman to yearn for the wind to caress her hair. There's a yearning for that dog to come up to you and to touch your heart. There's a yearning for so much fullness in life. And because the masculine is oftentimes about emptiness and focus, the masculine forgets that everything fills the feminine, sounds and music and smells and scents, and we yearn for that. We yearn for this feeling of being overwhelmed on a sensual level with life. And that also goes into that sexual play, that men need to understand that sexual play to the feminine is this yearning for fullness, a full experience, to be touched all over her body, to be felt, to be witnessed on so many different levels. That's yearning.
As a man, I like to distinguish between two feelings there, which is like there's an energy of a woman who wants something that to me feels like it's nagging, it's a whining, it's a bitching. I don't know if I can say that on video, but there's a difference there, and I'm going to use the word vulnerable, of an authentic yearning to which my masculine energy aligns to immediately. It creates a desire to fill. It's a very authentic desire. Whereas I might want to shut you up in the nagging level. I might want you to just get away from me. What can I do to get you away? Whereas a yearning brings me to, you used the word earlier, presence, and I'm right there. I want to penetrate, I want to contain, I want to be part of that. That difference is profound in my body between I want to I'm yearning, and the yearning often actually has less words to it. Can you speak to that, Jennie?
I think when you talk about the word want, we can want a lot of things. I can even want things that are sourced in a complete depth, right? I could want my man to be happy. I could want my man to fulfill me. I could want and these are all very beautiful things. But in my body, in my mind, when I talk about yearning, it's almost more a feeling than I've identified it. I want that. It's almost like there's a sorrow in your heart that until that place is filled, there's always going to be that sorrow in your heart. And in my body, a yearning it has more to do than with one specific thing. So, whereas I want my partner to do certain things, and if he does those things, perhaps that will fill this yearning place. But a want to me is completely different than a yearning. A yearning is much, much bigger, and it's much, much more universal, where a yearning is, a fulfillment, a true fulfillment that, doing little steps, doing little pieces, that's not going to fill a yearning. A yearning is almost just like a constant state of wanting to be filled with something. It's a desire for sometimes a nameless thing just to be filled. And yeah, you can fill that yearning by, sitting outside and breathing in nature and all of the rest, but it's almost a constant contact with a bigger thing, to me, is yearning. And again, I feel like there's steps that can be taken in partnership or in relationship to other women that fill that place, but it's almost like a heart sorrow that it constantly it wants something more, it's aching for something more.